For the final time in the 2021 high school football season, we go under the Friday night lights, live and streaming from Faurot Field on the campus of the University of Missouri in Columbia. This is the Missouri State High School Activities Association Class 5 Football Championship between the undefeated Holt Indians and the 10-3 Webb City Cardinals. Hello and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Faurot Field alongside the King of Como, Bo Bayman. I am Corey Riggs, so thrilled to be here with you for this one. And Bo, just about ready for a liftoff. They've flipped the coin. Wentzville and Webb City have shown out here tonight for this Class 5 clash.
No doubt about it, Corey. A great crowd here inside Memorial Stadium. The action should be good on Faurot Field. The Holt Indians won the toss and decided to take the ball first, so we'll see them on offense. And it's quite a story about their offense in this game, isn't it?
Yep, we'll chronicle it as we go on, but they are without their record-setting quarterback, Cooper Brown, who led this team as far as it has ever gone in the school's history. The Indians of Holt playing in their first ever Show Me Bowl. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, the Webb City Cardinals are the definition of dynasty in the Show Me State. They, along with Valley Catholic, have 15 state championships in the sport of football. No one has any more than that. We saw the Lamar Tigers earlier this afternoon go for their 9th. But when you talk about high school football in the state of Missouri, Bo, Webb City, Valley Catholic, Jeff City, Lamar, that's the Mount Rushmore.
That's right. That's the 4, and Webb City has the experience. They know what this is all about. They're ready to roll, and they know that this is Holt's first time here. So it's the experience versus the first-timers here tonight for the title.
Jackson Smith back to return the kick from Webb City's Dante Washington. It'll be fielded inside the 5-yard line, brought back out. Nice little hippity-hop cross step, and a good return coming for the Holt Indians, as finally Smith gets cut down just shy of the 30-yard line. And that is where Holt will take over. And without their all-everything quarterback, keep your eyes peeled for the 1,000-yard rusher tonight. He wears number 7, Kyle Webbling. Bo, this kid has done everything the Indians could ask this year. He averages almost 140 yards a game.
Yeah, Webbling has been just dynamite this year. In 12 games, he has 7.1 yards per carry and 22 touchdowns on the season.
Owen Merrill gets the start at quarterback tonight, and the give will be to Webbling on first down, and he gets a little bit more than that 7-yard per game average against the Cardinals defense as he comes out and gashes them for 8 on first down.
How about making your first career high school start in the state championship game of Class 5 in the Show Me Bowl?
First start at quarterback. I'm not sure.
Right.
He's probably got some defensive starts. Here he'll go with 4 wide receivers. Bootleg to the right. Merrill throws on the run. He has his man, and the Indians have their first down of the night as their offense comes out firing on all cylinders here on the opening drive as they inch closer toward midfield.
That pass was caught by Ty Williams out on that far side. And Holt's in business.
Continuing with the 4 wide, but a flag on the play here before we get going on 1st and 10. Our referee tonight is Jeff Holloway. The false start penalty will back the Indians up 5 yards. We mentioned Jeff Holloway, our referee. The umpire is Jeff Doherty. Jeremiah Payton is the linesman. Reggie Fuller is the line judge. The back judge is Vince Hayes. 5-man officiating crew tonight for Show Me Bowl in Class 5. And there is a hard hit delivered from the Webb City middle layer of that defense that time. Actually, it's the strong safety, Bobby Wilson, coming up in run support to make the stop on first down. They'll get 5 of their yards back that they lost on the false start. Still out of that 4-wide formation, throwing and hitting again. The Cardinals' defensive secondary may be playing a little soft on these wide receivers out on the edge.
That was caught by number 31 out there. And the thing about the Indian offense here as they just go, and they look like they haven't missed a beat without their starting quarterback, even though we know that's different.
Yep, Slaughter's 23rd catch of the season. Merrill rolls to the near side, going to tuck it and run. He had a 94-yard run for a touchdown, and he dives across the down and distance marker and will move the chains again as he gets knocked out of bounds. Right now, Holt not looking like they're missing that starting quarterback as they are moving the ball at will on the Cardinals.
Great stutter step by Merrill to juke a defender and be able to pick up the first down.
Continuing with the tempo offense, this time they'll go right in the teeth of the Cardinals defense. Get about 3, almost 4 yards on first down. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you right now.
We do have a player down.
Webbling on the carry, and there is a player down. And from our vantage point, with Holt's numbers, they almost look white on white. With those white tops and gold pants, it looks like one of the offensive linemen, Bo, may have gotten rolled up on that second down run.
I think that's exactly right, Corey. It seemed like it was maybe some friendly fire from behind. I haven't seen the number yet.
Young man sitting up now.
Looks like 79.
That's J.D. Besher, one of the offensive tackles. Besher, Leichenauer, Nelson, Bone, and Brown are the 5 starters on the offensive line tonight for the Holt Indians. They are led by head coach Ethan Place, who has brought Holt to their first ever Show Me Bowl appearance, a perfect 13-0 record on the season, including a tight game in the quarterfinal that they won 31-28 over the Red Devils of Chaminade. Here's second down and 6. Merrill looking for more down the field. He'll go ahead and call his own number, and he gets blown up. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage that time as the Webb City defense did not give up an inch that time.
No doubt about it. That's Braxton Serber who comes up and lays the wood. Number 48. And it looked like Merrill here as he rolls out. He wanted to throw, didn't know what to do, and then he pays the price for the indecision.
Braxton Serber wearing 46 there. That'll bring up third down now. High snap. Merrill going to run right up the middle again. He's got a first down and more as he dives past the Cardinals' defensive secondary and gets stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A great opening drive for the Indians. And they continue to not really allow Webb City, Bo, to make those defensive line changes and kind of get some fresh legs in there.
And it seems like Webb City is off balance with the high up-tempo offense here from Holt.
Shotgun formation again. The give up the middle. The Cardinals collapse in on the ball carrier. That time Webbling gets his number called. 22 touchdowns on the season. He did miss one game, did Kyle. But he has been their leading scorer with not only the touchdowns, but he handles some of the kicking duties and has made a few PATs to boot. Merrill out of the gun, wants to run again. He'll roll off the right tackle's side and be about 2 yards short here as we look at third down.
One thing I've noticed, Corey, is Merrill's very slippery. He gets through that first wave on the defense, and he's going to pick up an extra 3 to 4 or maybe sometimes 6-7 yards.
5'10", 185 pounds is the junior signal caller. Now they'll go up the middle again. That's a slippery run, and it's 6 points for Holt. Webbling punches it in, his 23rd touchdown of the season.
Just straight up the middle on third and short, and really almost not touched. And as we watch the replay here, Corey, they were just trying to get the first down, third and short, Webbling up the middle. Great blocking by the offensive line, opens the hole, no help in the secondary, and it's 6-0.
The point after is good, and just like that, the Indians from Holt have made it a 7-0 advantage on our final game on this triple header Friday here on Mission.tv. They lead the Webb City Cardinals 7-0. Bo, this is a team in Webb City that, while they've got all this storied history and all these state titles, they're just now getting used to playing Class 5 football. Thanks to changes in the rules through the Missouri State High School Activities Association, this new championship factor that replaced the private school multiplier, all of their success came in Class 4. Meanwhile, the folks from Wentzville, this was a Class 6 school a season ago.
That's right.
Now dropping down to Class 5. So you've got one of the largest Class 5 schools in the state up against one of the smallest Class 5 schools in the state.
And you and I were talking about it before this, and it's about a 400 student difference positive for Holt against Webb City. And that's a big deal, 400 students. And Webb City coming in on a 6-game winning streak. Their last loss, October 8th against Nixa, 41-27.
Webbling will put the boot to it. He scored the touchdown. He's got the kickoff. That one bounces out of bounds. The flag will be dropped, and Webb City will have good starting field position as their offensive unit will get their first crack to see if they can spin the lights on the scoreboard here at Faurot Field, the home of the University of Missouri Tigers.
Interesting on the kicking all weekend, last weekend, we've seen a lot of kicks out of bounds because you don't want to kick it to the dangerous return people. And we saw in the last game how could be a Lutheran St. Charles can be the difference.
Yep, they wanted to avoid giving Dante Washington a chance to flip the field. Now Cole Vaden will lead out the Cardinals in their Columbia blue and red. He'll give it to the dive back this time, and that is the leading rusher for the Webb City Cardinals, Cade Wilson. Wilson, his 181st carry of the season, close to 1,400 yards. He also is better than 100 yards per contest. He splits time in that familiar split-back veer with Dupree Jackson. They'll line up side by side here after the gain of 5 on first down. Another run right into the teeth of this Holt defense that time. So Wilson gets a touch, then immediately Jackson gets a touch. They were 28-8.
Yeah, and between the two of them, I'm doing my quick math, 42 touchdowns on the season.
Thank goodness you do the quick math. I'd have to take off my shoes. Cardinals get the chains to move. Their first down of the evening. Webb City walks back up to the line. Cole Vaden, just 100 yards short of 1,000 yards passing this year, but this one will be whistled dead before it gets underway. The first pass of the game for Webb City was going to be complete. Jeff Holloway had a false start on Holt on their opening drive. Webb City returns the favor and has to move back and face 1st and 15. Bo, this is not the typical narrative for the Webb City Cardinals. They have been pretty much world beaters.
Yes.
In Class 4. They come into this state championship with something you've almost never seen. That's 3 losses on their record. They lost to a very good Joplin Eagles team in Class 6. They lost to the 2009 Class 5 champion Carthage Tigers. They lost to a Nixa Eagle team that never beat them in their program's history. Vaden bombs away. That one's just a little too far. Beyond the outstretched hands of the intended target that time, they were trying to hit the home run ball to Dante Washington.
And Washington had a step for a minute. And this is what Webb City does. They like to hit you when you're not thinking about it. And we've seen that in high school football this year. It's the misdirection. It's the, okay, they're going to run it again. The defense on their heels a little bit. You go over the top, and that one just a little bit too far.
Vaden will bark out the cadence now. Double tight ends. Holt overfills the box, and Webb City will still run it right up the middle. Multiple flags down in the backfield. Got to think the Cardinals will get called for a holding here after they had a 10-yard carry.
And let's see what.
No.
It'll go the other way on the face mask.
Every time I guess, things don't ever go well.
2 flags came in. And that's the big one. That's the personal foul. So that's grasping and turning.
And you've been here for more games in the last 2 days than I am. You were on the call with James Stanley on the 8-man game, the first game of the day today before I came in and did the Class 2 game with you. Most of the face masks that we've seen up to this point have been that 5-yard garden variety.
This is the first personal foul we've seen on the face mask this weekend. And so that's a big one, 15 yards and a new set of downs as we approach halfway through this quarter.
Holt defense trying to bow their back here. Vaden under pressure, and he is sacked right in the middle of that Mizzou Tiger logo. The Indians defense pin their ears back and go get a quarterback sack.
What a play by the defensive line. What a surge as we come through here. And really just no time to throw.
99 that time, Bo. Breaks through. That's Garrett Conley, a 260-pound defensive tackle who flattens Vaden for a loss of 8.
Give credit to Ty Williams, too, for also busting in from the corner.
Second and forever. Cardinals up the middle. Quick hitter and a hard hit on the end of that play after Wilson dissects the defense.
They went fast. Isaiah Slaughter saved a touchdown there as Slaughter was the last line of defense. He was back there, made the tackle. Brings up a 3rd and about 6, so manageable after the 2nd and long.
5 minutes, 35 seconds to play here in quarter number 1 with the Indians on top of the Cardinals 7-0. Vaden will have wide receivers to either side of the formation, the 2 backs behind him. This time the counter play gets bottled up. Holt hammers the runner that time, not allowing any daylight for Dupree Jackson to squirt through, and it's 4th down.
Great play by the Indian defense. Caden Moore shooting through. And the first man on the spot, Moore was there and causes this 4th down and 7.
Caden Moore, the second leading tackler for Holt with over 113 stops to go with 3 forced fumbles and 3 fumble recoveries. Webb City not showing punt here. They look like they're going to roll the dice on what will be 4th down and 7. Twins to the bottom of the formation. Vaden looks to throw, pumps once, throws. Is it held on to? Yes, it is. 1st down, Webb City.
Great throw and catch. Trying to figure out
Caden
who caught
Turner.
it. Yes.
He wears number 95. And Turner comes up with his 6th reception of the season, but is a drive-saving catch as Webb City continues their march toward the south end zone.
6'3", 195 for Turner, who laid out to get that one.
Another counter play, this time to the near side. Be close to 10 yards on the 1st down run that time as Wilson wheels his way inside the 15-yard lines. Don't even need a measurement. Just send the Chang gang on down the field.
And the counter play to the right side is really working. Everything to the left seems to be covered or marginal gains, but the right side is where they're making hay.
Josh Howard, the lone wide receiver on the outside. This time it'll be the dive play right up the gut. Cade Wilson able to get the Cardinals half of what they needed, 5 yards on the dive play. Wilson averages 7.7 yards per rush.
Interesting how when you convert a 4th down, how deflating that is for the defense for a couple of plays.
It can be hard to recover from, that momentum swing. 3.5 minutes to go now. This time they'll try the right side. No counter play that time, Bo, but Cade Wilson continues to grind on the ground. He's got enough for a 1st down as he gets the ball inside the 5. That'll make it 1st and goal from the 4. Webb City looking to bring their head coach, John Roderick, his 13th state championship, 15 in school history. The first, 1989 under Jerry Kill, who will now be the new head coach at New Mexico State. Kurt Thompson won 2 state titles as the top man in Cardinal country. And since then, it has been all John Roderick. The run around the right side, the dive by Wilson, but he'll be denied by 2 Indians on the edge. That'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Zakai Johnson was there at the goal line, but they'll go quick, will the Cardinals?
Going to run it right off the right side again, but flags down before the play.
I think it could be. Yeah, they had 12 men on the field trying to get the big guys up there for the goal line, and it wasn't going to work.
Trying to get that jumbo package in there because you figure the Cardinals are going to keep it between the tackles and test you right there on the hash mark. That ball is going to be positioned halfway between the 1 yard line and the goal line. Helicopter flying back overhead here is Webb City trying to answer the initial drive of the Holt Indians with a sustained drive of their own. Vaden will hand it off to the second man. He dives toward the goal line, rolls back to the inside, and is in for 6. Wilson able to will his way across the line, his 26th rushing touchdown of the season.
And we touched on it, Corey. Where was all the running on the, especially in the red zone? To the right side. They're going right. They're going over the right tackle. They're going over the right guard. And they're successful in tying this game.
Washington will be successful to tie the game with the point after it, as it is up and through, and we are knotted up at 7 apiece.
Here's another look at it. Just running to the right, running right behind the guard and the tackle. Needed a yard, got a yard. And give Webb City credit for going right down the field and scoring and converting that 4th down where there was a great catch by the big man, Turner, and Turner made the play to keep that drive alive.
Yeah, Caden Turner not used a lot. We told you only 5 catches coming into tonight's contest. Played in a total of 10 games for Webb City. But a big drive-saving catch from quarterback Cole Vaden. So Washington will come out now to kick this one away. 2:13 to play here in quarter number 1 in Columbia. Washington, the only two-way starter on the roster tonight that we were given from the coaching staff for the Webb City Cardinals. Zakai Johnson, who had a couple of big tackles for the Holt Indians, the only two-way starter. And that's what you expect in Class 5 football, Bo. You expect the platooning. You expect guys not to necessarily have to row the boat in both directions. This kick is angling, and it bounces into the end zone. It stays on the good side of the pylon, and it'll be a touchback for Holt.
Absolutely. Great kick there, and it's only the second we've seen all weekend of one going into the end zone. But what a big weapon that is when you can kick it through the end zone, or kick it to the end zone, start at the 20, and now we'll see if the Indian offense could answer. So far, it's been the offenses that have been winning at the line of scrimmage and imposing their will to march the ball down the field. And here we go with the second offensive possession for the Indians.
We saw a high of 72 today here in Columbia. The temperature now down to 55 degrees. The wind blowing from the north end zone to the south. Webbling will get things started for the Indians. Be close to 5 yards on the first down carry. He and Wilson are very similar. They are good, tough, hard-nosed running backs that don't care how they get the yards, just that they get the yards. Able to move forward, pick up 5. That'll bring second down. Shotgun, 4 wide receivers. That looked like there was a little movement before the snap on this one.
I have my eyes over on the far sideline. Webbling took a big hit on that carry, and he is getting looked at on the far side, and I wonder if it was a stinger or perhaps a shoulder. But he's on the sideline. It's a big thing to monitor. I'll keep my eyes on it.
Mason Burke has the next most carries, 59 on the season, just 275 yards. Webbling was pretty much the primary back everywhere, and now the Indians will go right up the middle again, and they are unceremoniously met by a trio of Cardinal defenders as they cut down the run. It'll be third down and long.
And now we have some whistles. And I think
one of the Cardinals may have got his bell rung. Looks like it's number 7 walking back over the sideline. That's the strong safety, Bobby Wilson. And as hard as he has been flying in, he's basically made himself a human projectile on the last 2 plays. Third and long now. Merrill knows he needs 7 or more. That one goes through the hands of his intended target, out of play. It's fourth down.
And a good job by the Cardinal defense to make some adjustments. Got a little help when Webbling went off the field. But our first hold is by Webb City, forcing the punt.
Aiden Sullivan has been the punter all season for the Indians. Hasn't had to do a lot of work, just 20 punts, 612 yards. He averages the nice average, Bo, about 31 yards per punt. Webb City not ready for the punt return there. Goes ahead and burns a timeout. The first timeout taken here for the 15-time state champion Webb City Cardinals. Told you John Roderick has been the architect of the last 12 state championships. Bo, one of the most ridiculous career record marks you're ever going to see. 306 wins and 31 losses.
Unbelievable.
It is crazy.
I think he realized his team had 12 men on the field, and that's why he called timeout.
Well, that'd be the second or third time we've seen that today. So they burn the timeout. That'll bring Sullivan back out to try and flip the field here. He'll be punting from the 10. Step to his right. That one was almost blocked. It'll bounce at the 50. One of the up men will duck it. It'll roll across the 50, be down at the 47-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals offense will take over for their second drive. So the Cardinal defense able to hold and force a punt after both teams traded opening drive touchdowns. Can Webb City make some hay with this now after forcing the incomplete pass and getting their offense back out on the field in great field position, Bo, near the 50?
And what will the Cardinal coaching staff cook up here? What will they come out with in the second possession?
Well, something different. It's not the split back veer. How about three wide receivers? Vaden, a quick hitter to the near side, and the same man that kept the drive alive earlier will get his second catch. Some more action for Caden Turner.
It's like the Swedish chef is cooking it up here, Corey.
I don't know what they're cooking up. I don't speak Swedish. I think it's like hey bort skiddy doo ba doo something like that. But they definitely have got something different in the mix right now. So used to that two-man backfield. Now it's twins to the bottom of the formation, and the run is Wilson's. He works off the right side, cuts it back to the inside, and will have close to 5 yards. The Cardinals will be faced with second down and 5.
And the one thing that I've noticed since the fourth down conversion is the confidence of Webb City. It's like they needed that to say, all right, let's relax. We know we're fine. Let's go. They go down and score. They make a stop, and here they are already to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, confidence was hard to come by for the Cardinals earlier in the season. They dropped those 3 games, but have been on a roll ever since a win over the Ozark Tigers back on October 15th. It's a tie ball game as we've reached the end of quarter number 1. Holt 7, Webb City 7 on your home for state championships in the Show Me State. This is Mission.TV. Webb City with the ball, second down and 5 as the second quarter of action begins here from Faurot Field. Welcome back, Corey Riggs and Bo Bayman. Along with our Mission.TV crew, Grant taking care of the buttons over to our left, Asia and Jasmine on the cameras. Webb City now faced with third down and 3. I'll give you some of the first quarter numbers here in just a minute after the Cardinals make a couple of substitutions. Showing Holt something a little different on this offensive drive. Now they go back to the bread and butter. Jackson on the dive play. Needed 3. He'll get about 3.5, and it'll be another Cardinal first down.
First quarter stats, total plays are pretty even. Holt was 84 yards of offense. Webb City was 73. Webb City with the time of possession advantage, 7 minutes to 5 minutes, but give Holt credit for converting 3 out of 4 third downs. So far, huge. Pretty even.
Webb City just picking up their 7th first down of the game. They continue this drive to the north, double tight end. Option this time to the near side. They run it into the boundary, and Wilson gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of 6. Holt's defense trying to catch up with the Webb City running back. Knocked out by Slaughter that time. He wears number 31. The Indians' free safety, Bo, has been very active here in the first half.
And he's had to be because of these runs to the outside and runs up the middle. Sometimes he's the last line of defense, and he has to make that tackle. But give Webb City credit here. Here they go again. 6 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. Coming up with second down and 3.
Two receivers to the near side. Vaden back to pass. He puts a ton of air under it. Diving and laying out for the ball, but it comes up incomplete. Was he trying to get it to
Turner?
Caden Turner again?
Yes.
Turner's got the only 2 receptions of the game so far for Webb City and 21 yards. Vaden tried to call his number again, but the incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down. Bo, you talk about the 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. And it always makes me go back to the same thing. We'll get to it after this 3rd down and 3 play. The Cardinals denied as the Indians dominate the line of scrimmage that time. Wilson goes nowhere, and it's 4th down. No gain on the play that time. Maybe give him a half a yard, call it 4th and 2 here. But
Caden Moore comes up and makes the play from his linebacking position. Right there, big hit by number 8.
Slaughter there as well. He's a ball hawk. Slaughter, the best on the team in interceptions. He's had 6 picks for Holt this year. Play clock at 10. Vaden on 4th down. They'll bring the ball to the near side. They'll have the 2 yards they need and then some as Wilson comes around the edge again. And boy, he gets there in a hurry. It's the veer that you were talking about, and that 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. I always go back to remember the Titans and Coach Boone. I've got 6 plays. Veer. It's like Novocaine. Give it time, and it works.
Absolutely. And it's been working here. The second 4th down conversion for the Cardinals, keeping the drive alive.
This is going to be a penalty against Webb City. The left tackle leaned into the neutral zone that time. Christian Kinney rocked forward, and that'll back him up 5 yards.
Holt wished that happened on the 4th down play.
Timing is everything, my friend. I tell you what, it's a good night to hit a bank in Wentzville. I think they are all here. You can hear them chanting, "You can't do that," all the way from the far sideline. Wilson trying to see what he can do on 1st and long, and he can't do much of anything. He gets snowed under by the white-clad Holt defensive unit.
And again, it's Moore, Caden Moore, number 8, coming up from that linebacker spot, filling the hole and making the tackle.
He came into the night the 2nd leading tackler for his team behind Johnson. That'll make it 2nd down and 13 now, and the Cardinals break their huddle. It'll be a single back set again with twins to the near side. Vaden throws quickly to the near side. First pass not caught by Turner. Not enough for the 1st down, though, as that time he hits William Hayes for his first catch of the night.
And Hayes slips a tackle, and then it's Slaughter again on the tackle, making it 3rd and 5. And if Slaughter doesn't make that tackle, it's going to be a 1st down.
Couple of times that's been the narrative. Hayes making his 22nd reception of the season. Third down, the gives to Wilson. He puts his head down, dives forward. The line to gain was 5 yards away. He gets 6. The Cardinals will have another 1st and goal here after the 1st down run by Cade Wilson.
Just off the right side. Good blocking up front that time. Slipping it to about the 7-yard line.
I tell you, when they counter and when Dupree Jackson goes one way and Wilson comes back the other way, if you're in that linebacking core in that secondary, you're picking your poison at that point in time. We just don't know which way to lean. Here's 1st and goal now. Run off the left side. Cardinals had all the success going to the right on that initial drive. Jackson, who averages close to 8 yards a carry, will get the Cardinals within about 3 yards of the goal line. It's 2nd down.
I think he had a pathway to the end zone there. I think the turf tripped him up. I think he got his toe caught, and the turf monster got him. I'm not sure that any Holt Indian made the tackle.
The turf monster has made more than one appearance. From 3 yards out, they'll give it from the right side to the left side, and Jackson jams it in for a touchdown.
Just straight power, Corey. They give it to Jackson. They run it straight at the defense, and he takes care of the rest. There wasn't a lot there, not a big opening, but the power here, watch it. He's got to run over some guys. A couple of guys had the chance to stop him, but they couldn't do it.
Angel Velasquez, the guard, staying on his block, and Jackson just about ran up his man's back to get into the end zone. The PAT is good, and Webb City is now doubled up Holt 14-7. Here in our Class 5 Missouri State High School Activities Association championship game. We want to remind all you football fans that if you're enjoying the broadcast tonight, you can purchase your own copy of tonight's game. After the broadcast ends, all you've got to do is click the download button for the broadcast on Misha.tv. You can own this piece of Misha TV content forever. Something that you can look back on and watch years from now, enjoy with the family as you get our view from high atop Faurot Field. Bo and I kind of taking over the booth that Mike Kelly calls the Mizzou Tiger football games from, here in the radio booth, the TV booth just to our right. That's where Jasmine and Asia are doing all the camera work, or at least one of them. We moved the cameras around from the Class 6 game. Grant came in and changed the whole dynamic this week. The return is on now for the Indians, and they have got a big gainer coming up the far side before the Cardinals finally catch up to them. Jackson Smith on the return, the stop made by Webb City's number 51. That's Aiden Brock.
And that return may have gone for more had he not stopped. I think if he stays on the sideline, there's maybe one player with an angle to get him. But Smith with a huge return. And the good news, if you're an Indian fan, is Kyle Webling is back on the field.
Their standout running back able to rejoin the fray here, but he won't get the ball on the first carry. It's fumbled, but there's a flag on the play here, Bo. Webb City's going to come up with the ball, but this may be much ado about nothing. As the laundry dotted the field here, we'll wait for referee Jeff Holloway and his crew to sort this one out, and 4 of the 5 come together.
Just a quick toss to Jackson Smith.
A huge turn of events now after Webb City took the lead on the last drive. An offensive penalty that will be declined. And watch here.
They give it to Smith. He cuts it back, but the strip underneath there, and the strip comes out, I believe.
I think it's Lucas Ott. I want to say 48.
48 is what it was. You're right. And that's a beautiful job. He was tackling him, but went for the ball.
Yep.
And why not when you got him in control and he causes the turnover?
Lucas Ott's second forced fumble of the season. Webb City right back at it, driving up the middle of the defense that time.
That was Jackson, I believe.
Pick up about 3 yards on the first down. Bring up 2nd and 7 with just a little over 7 minutes to go until halftime. During our intermission tonight, we hope to be joined by the executive director of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, Dr. Kerwin Erhan.
So nice to be back here at Faurot Field after a year off because of the pandemic.
Very much so. Wilson tries to work the right side that time, and as much success as they had running off right tackle on the opening drive, Wilson has nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. The Holt defense cuts him down, give him about a yard. It'll bring up another 3rd down play here for Webb City. Now, Webb City's been very good on 4th down.
Yeah.
Hasn't had as many opportunities on 3rd down. Holt was almost perfect in the first quarter, going 3 of 4 on their 3rd down conversions.
Good job by the defensive end, Logan Steer, to stay home on that one and contribute to the tackle.
5-man front that time. Vaden throws an interception. This could go for 6. Vaden's the only man who can stop him, and Cole Vaden bulldogs him out of bounds as both teams trade turnovers here near midfield. Vaden picked that time, and he had been on a roll. He had been hooking up with Caden Turner.
Hard to tell on the far sideline who came up with the interception, but what a big play and much needed by the Indians.
Yeah, I told you on the offing of this one, the numbers are just a little hard to read. Kyle Dill and Jack Byrne wear 22 and 29. They're the corners. Could have been either one of them. Webling, back to work here. Plunges forward for 5. Almost 6 yards on first down. As Holt trying to answer here with the clock ticking down toward 5 minutes here in quarter number 2.
And they're going to go with what worked in the first quarter. They're going to go tempo.
Against this 3-5 look for Webb City. They fake the handoff to Webling. Merrill has it, and he is met and hammered. The quarterback stood up and sacked for a 2-yard loss.
Boy, I'm glad to see Merrill get up from that because he got high load there by the defenders.
Billy Wolf, part of the defensive attack that time, the linebacker for Webb City, upending Merrill there in the high-low, Bo. You put it perfectly. That's always a dangerous position. This is a team that has already suffered the loss of one quarterback. You don't want to see them go down another. 3rd down, 8 to go. Merrill rolling to his left, throws with the right hand, and it's complete. A first down as the Indians need a big play, and boy, they have been nothing short of dynamic on 3rd down.
Alex Giniver coming up, the tight end, with that big catch, knew where the stick was, and picks up the first down.
His 34th catch of the season, good enough to move the chains. Webling now trying to squirt through, and he's met in the second level of the Cardinals' defense. Held for a gain of 6. This offense needs him to stay healthy and stay in. He is such an integral part of their successes. Now he lines up as a sidecar to the right of Merrill. Merrill, design quarterback keeper the whole way. The Cardinal defense comes to meet him, and he will have no gain on the play.
Good job there on the defense by Kaylor Darnell. Number 1, the junior safety, came up and was probably spying the QB, knew that he kept it, and took care of business.
Another big 3rd down here. They'll double stack the receivers to the top and bottom of the formation. There'll be man-man coverage. Snap too high. Merrill has to dive on it and eat this one in the backfield. A big loss on 3rd down, and we saw that happen to a couple of quarterbacks in the Class 2 championship, Bo. When that snap is eye high and above, bad things happen.
No doubt about it. This is different lighting. There are big scoreboards here. These kids aren't used to that. And a good job by Merrill to jump on it. You know that head coach Ethan Place not happy with that snap because that's a missed opportunity.
Place came back to Holt in 2015. As they will punt this one away. 2 Class 5 teams, Bo, who both of their head coaches played for these schools. John Roderick, in his time at Webb City, Coach Place in his time at Holt. Of course, John went on to an All-American career as a Pittsburgh State Gorilla. Was a 7-year assistant there before he took over Webb in 1997. Coach Place has had a completely different sort of drive to coaching. Had to have a kidney transplant a few years back. A fellow coach, Al Linden, gave him his kidney.
Was in the Marine Corps for 4 years.
Yep, right after 9/11, wanted to go and defend our country and did so. Had that kidney transplant back in April of 2017, but joined the Marines at the age of 18. Was a sniper. But then in 2015, he got to come back home and take over the program at his alma mater. So a couple of alumni trying to add some hardware to the trophy case back home. Here it is on 2nd down. One of the hardest things if you're trying to defend Webb City, we talk about the veer, but really let's break it down into what it really is. And Vaden hasn't called his number a lot tonight, Bo, his own number, but this is, you're guarding the triple option.
Yep.
So if you're Holt, assignment football is so important. You've got the pitch man, I've got the dive man, he's got the quarterback. You've got to have your guy. And a good quarterback in the triple option can confuse defenses. See if Vaden can confuse them on 3rd down and 1.
Holt can't let anybody behind them with under 2 minutes to go before half.
It'll just be the dive play up the middle. The Cardinals want the 1st down and get it with under 2 minutes to go. Jackson will get the carry again.
Webb City with 2 timeouts. The clock runs with 1:50 to go. You have to wonder if they're going to be content with this 7-point lead. Doesn't look like they're in too much of a hurry with under 2 minutes to go.
They've got 2 timeouts. Holt has all 3 of theirs in their hip pocket if they can force another Cardinal turnover. On 1st and 10, Vaden to the air, fade pass caught, and he steps out of bounds. Steps out of bounds as he crosses the 40-yard line. A great pitch and catch, that time by the quarterback, Cole Vaden, and he hits the new wide receiver, William Hayes, as Hayes gets in and gets a grab. His 2nd of the game. His 1st was for 8 yards.
Just a beautiful throw and catch, and Hayes able to get 1 foot down before going out of bounds. Not only do they pick up huge yardage, he stops the clock with 1:28 to go.
1st down, another dive for the Cardinals. Keep the ball in that A gap in between the center and the guard. Jackson will get the carry once again. His last carry was for 6, this one for 4. The Cardinals getting down to the final 60 seconds here before halftime. That pass to William Hayes ended up being almost 30 yards. Here's 2nd down and 6. Vaden rolls to his right, has pressure to his right, throws, it's a jump ball, and it'll fall incomplete. He tried to get that one back into Caden Turner, but great coverage in the back into the defense this time for the Indians. Got to think that was Slaughter again.
It was not. It was Jack Byrne. Byrne had good position, good inside position, turned his head, found the ball, and knocked it away.
Byrne giving up a little bit of size that time. Byrne just 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. So that'll stop the clock with 50 ticks to go. 2 backs behind Vaden, 2 receivers to either side. A quick hitter is an air ball, way too tall and out. That'll bring up 4th down.
They just wanted to hit the quick out there and get it beyond the sticks, and it just looked like it slipped or got away from Vaden.
Yep, I would agree with that assessment. I think that was just a little bit of an early release, or the ball slipped out of his hands. No chance to line up for a field goal here. This would be 35, 45, 52-yard attempt from this spot on the hash mark on the near side. Webb City would take the play clock down under 5. Go ahead and take a timeout here with 47 seconds remaining in the half. Some of the games from earlier today, Lutheran St. Charles gets their first ever state title in the sport of football, Bo. They matched the boys' soccer team today with a 33-27 win over Lamar. That was an exciting football game to watch.
Arlen Harris Jr. plunges in from a couple yards out with 6 seconds left on the clock for the winning touchdown, and they win by 6. And the first game was closer than the score indicates, as Smithville took down Hannibal 31-0. That was a 14-zip game at half, and then there were a couple of touchdowns late by Smithville, but Smithville, another school, winning its first ever football state championship.
Drexel wins the 8-man crown 48-42 in a highly contested matchup with Worth County. And a weekend ago, CBC takes home their 4th state title 48-21 over Liberty North. 4th down for the Cardinals. Empty backfield, man in motion. They'll give it to Washington. He can't get the corner turned. The Indians have him in the grasp, and their defense holds on 4th down. Washington on the sweep that time. He kept stringing it out, Bo, and stringing it out, looking for a lane. There was no lane.
Great job by the strong safety, Caden Duke, coming up and finishing off the tackle. Duke wears number 80, and he was lightning quick to get there and make the tackle, make sure that this stays at 14-7 game, and we'll see what Holt has here. Only 41 seconds, but they do have those 3 timeouts, as you mentioned, Corey.
If we had a telestrator, I'd circle number 11 for you right now. Jackson Smith, 103 catches on the year. If you're going to ride somebody down the field right now and you're Owen Merrill, you're going to be locked on 11. Instead, a little trickeration here as they almost go Philly special. Get it back to Merrill. There's a flag in the defensive secondary, and Merrill's knocked out of bounds as he neared midfield.
I think that has to be a hold because that was not anywhere close to a face mask or anything like that. So that's got to be a hold on one of the wide receivers or potentially an illegal man downfield.
We'll wait and see what Jeff Holloway and his crew have to say about this one.
They're talking about a good job of the officials getting together.
Always like it when the referees put their heads together. They've earned their way here to Show Me Bowl just like the teams have, and they want to show that they could adjudicate the right call.
That had to be one of the wide receivers out front after the screen pass.
Offensive penalties have been the bugaboo for Holt in the first half. 4 of them prior to that one. There have been 2 yellow flags levied against the Webb City Cardinals.
Backs him up to the 40-yard line, so...
Well, that's one of those that we talked about before. Don't hold way deep in the backfield if you're going to do it. Get downfield a little bit on the spot foul. Merrill surveys the defense, tries to find somewhere to go. He tries to get it to Webbling, and Webbling gets dropped where he stands. Actually, no, it's not Webbling. That time it was number 3. That's Ty Williams, the wide receiver. Thought they'd leaked Webbling out, got him lined up on the outside as a receiving target. That'll bring up 2nd down here with 16 seconds to go. Remember, Holt with 3 timeouts on their hip.
You have to wonder if they'll just want to get to halftime now, Corey.
They're still gunning it. Merrill looking deep downfield, has a man, it's caught! Taken down at the 35-yard line. The Indians on the move. They go to their number 1 wide receiver, Jackson Smith. Now one of those timeouts will get used.
Smith with a great catch, went up and got the ball. It was good defense by Webb City. A lot of the defensive backs playing a little lag coverage, just trying to get in front of the ball. But Smith goes up and gets it, and that one spotted all the way at the 35-yard line.
Can you believe the performance we're seeing out of Owen Merrill? He comes in out of Cooper Brown's shadow. Cooper Brown rewrites the record book at Holt. He's got the single-season record for passing yards, for touchdowns. He's got the career mark for passing yards and touchdowns. He just gets a D1 offer to play quarterback for an FCS playoff team in the Skyhawks out of the University of Tennessee Martin. You know, Brown was a 4-year starter, a 3-year captain, and Merrill forced into this with his starting quarterback getting a broken collarbone. The bright lights do not seem to be bothering this young man at all. He'll go empty set 5 wide now with 9 seconds. Looking for the end zone. He dances around in the pocket, buys time with his feet, throws. That one's going to be out of bounds, incomplete as time expires.
Let's see if they put a second back on, Corey. I looked after the ball was incomplete, and there was 1 second still on the clock.
You are Johnny on the spot, my friend Bo Bayman. That's not going to make the folks from Jasper County very happy, but that doesn't mean it's not the right call. They'll give Holt one more shot here.
And Holt's going to take a timeout to talk about it. And that was a good job by Merrill to buy the time. Now he's going to have to buy a little bit more to send it deeper and just throw it up into the end zone, see if you can catch the Hail Mary or potentially get a penalty and have another play.
Told you Holt was tested in that quarterfinal win, 31-28 over Chaminade. You think they know how to perform in close games, partner? They scored 11 points in the final minute to beat the Red Devils. Got the game-winning 29-yard field goal with 1.7 seconds to play. They have got plenty of time with 1 second on the clock here against Webb City. What will be the final play of the first half?
Yeah, Braden Berthart, 2 of 3 with a long of 29 on field goals, if there's a penalty, perhaps.
Webb City just rushes forward. The flag down. Merrill on the move. Hit as he throws. This one's going to go out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Time expires again, but there's a flag on the play.
And this is going to be offsides because the play was allowed to go. You have to believe it's a defensive penalty.
Nope.
And we're at halftime.
And a wild way to finish this one as Holt gets an extra shot with 1 second on the clock, but an offensive penalty, their 6th of the half, brings us to halftime. Webb City looking for state championship win, their first in Class 5. They'll lead by a touchdown as we've reached the break. The Cardinals on top of the Indians, 14-7 here on Misha.tv. A great job by the Holt and Webb City marching bands to provide a little halftime entertainment, but the 20 minutes is just about up. We're ready to get things started. Third quarter action here in the Misha Class 5 Football Championship. Webb City on top of Holt 14-7. I'm Corey Riggs. He's Bo Bayman. And Bo, some of the first half numbers to be expected, leaning toward Webb City's way, just like the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. The score 14-7. First downs 11 for Webb City, 6 for Holt. The difference really is the rushing yards. Webb City with 106 and just 67 for Holt. The passing yards nearly identical. 1 interception for Vaden of Webb City. That's the turnover there. So the total offense, Webb City has run 37 plays for 163 yards. Holt, 26 plays for 125 yards. Third down conversions kind of tell the story. Webb City 3 of 7, but they're 2 of 3 on fourth down. Meanwhile, Holt is 4 of 6 on third down conversions. Webb City 2 of 2 scoring chances. Holt 0 of 0 because their touchdown came on a 23-yard run by Kyle Webling. Time of possession, Webb City nearly doubling Holt. 15-25 to 8-35. Penalties, 5 on Holt and 2 on Webb City as we get set for the second half. This is going to be a good second half. Holt hanging around. Webb City, however, gets the ball to begin the third quarter. So Webb City could go down and make it a 2-score game.
Yep, remember, Holt won the opening coin toss and elected to take the ball. Been very impressed with Owen Merrill, who had to come out of nowhere to take over this Holt offense. He has done extremely well, but his team upside down on the scoreboard, looking up at the 15-time state champion Webb City Cardinals, down by 7. Webling handles the kickoff duties. He will try and bomb one away. Dante Washington, the return man for Webb City. We told you he's the only two-way starter for Coach John Roderick. And John says he's got to have him play both sides of the ball and special teams because he's got that spark.
Yep.
Those explosive big plays that can turn a game on its ear.
He's the home run hitter. Let's see what he has here.
They're going to kick away from him this time to the near side. They'll cut this one back across the grain. Bring it back out across the 35-yard line. The Cardinal return man that time was Washington. He was up that time. He wasn't the deep man. Maybe moving him around a little bit to make it hard for the Indians to know where to drop that kickoff in.
Seemed like maybe Holt had a plan, say, hey, we're going to kick it to this side of the field. And Webb City guessed right and put Washington in that spot.
Jackson and Wilson, the two running backs. Behind Vaden. The give will be to Wilson. Forward progress will give him a gain of 2 on first down as he is pushed backward by a white wall of defenders that time for Holt. Looked like number 3 in there. Ty Williams, the outside linebacker, part of the stop.
And Logan Steer in there as well. He was in from the interior, making sure that the play didn't go any further, and then waited for help. And a good job of rallying to the ball by the Indians.
Wilson, 17 carries and a touchdown in the first half. He'll work off the left side that time, and Williams will make the stop again for the Indians. This Webb City team, Bo, embraced that underdog role. They even drew up on a white erase board, "Why not us?" which is kind of funny for a team that's tied for the most ever state titles. But it has been a different attitude and kind of a different era moving up to Class 5. Here it is on 3rd down and 4. Vaden, option to the near side. Jackson takes the pitch, gets around the corner, and gets the first down.
Good job of patience there by Jackson. Had one blocker out in front of him and used it. Just a little stutter step to make sure he gets past the yard needed. And it's a first down for the Cardinals.
One of the numbers that came out of this season about Webb City that I think is maybe the most staggering and that doesn't get enough press, these Cardinals just won their 22nd consecutive district title. That just doesn't happen. Wilson works his way past the opening push by the Holt defense and will gain 8 on the ground on first down, and that's the type of success that the Webb City ground game expects there with 8 yards on 1st and 10.
And this is the down, Corey, where it's 2nd and 2, where they have the options. Do they just give it on the dive, or is this where they take a shot? I think they're running so well. I think it's early in the 3rd. I'd keep it on the ground and keep going down the field.
Caden Turner has been kind of the standout in the receiving game so far tonight. They will elect to keep it on the ground. Bostradamus, you make the right call, and the Webb City Cardinals get the first down. The stoppage here, clock just under 10 minutes. A couple of new players will run on the field for Coach Place's defense.
A lot of running to the left here to open this drive for the Cardinals, and a lot of success right off that left edge.
Well, remember, what that's setting up is that counter play that they're so infamous for. Just a single wide receiver to the bottom of your screen this time. That time they try to cross bucket back across the formation, but the Holt defense is there and stingy, only giving up a yard on the ground that time. Remember, Holt comes into the night a perfect 13-0 on the season. Back in October, they played against Francis Howell, had almost 8,000 fans at that game. Not sure what the number is here tonight.
Give credit to Mario Brown, the defensive tackle, number 15 in the middle for the Indians that time.
2nd and long with 2 receivers to the outside now. Vaden looking to throw on a quick hitter. That one will fall incomplete off the fingertips of his intended target that time. Trying to get the ball on the edge to Dante Washington. Instead, it'll be 3rd down and long. And
a chance for the Indian defense to step up here in the early going.
Webb City was 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions in the first half, but we both know, Bo, that they were 2 of 3 on 4th down, so it's just a question of how many yards can you get here before John Roderick's team decides that they want to roll the dice.
6 yards would be fine here.
I'm sure they agree with you, and Wilson will get close to that. The second effort is going to get more than that as he moves the pile forward, and Wilson bobs and weaves his way through for another Webb City first down. What a tough kid. The word gritty kept coming up over and over again from John Roderick. He shows you how tough he is here.
Watch this here. He falls on a defender but doesn't go down, uses his leverage and picks up the first down.
And he's just dragging a defender behind him like a little kid with a red wagon. just pulling him behind.
What a tough run.
3rd and long doesn't seem that long when you can run the ball like this. 3 wide in the formation this time with 2 backs behind Vaden. He'll bark out the cadence, and then there's a flag. May have been a delay of game.
That's exactly what it is. Play clock expires. This is a big spot, I think, Corey, for the Holt defense. If Webb City goes down the field, they've already chewed up 4 minutes of the clock. They go down the field and score a touchdown. You have to wonder about the mindset of Holt, even though there's still a lot of ball game left. You go down 2 scores in the state championship, you start looking up at that scoreboard and wondering.
Well, Holt's got a lot of experience on this team. 21 seniors, 19 juniors, a team that could have gone further in the postseason last year but had to give up a forfeit due to a positive COVID test. Vaden gets out of the arms of one would-be tackler, slips and slides his way ahead for 5 yards, and gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. Holt should have had him, Bo, for no gain, but Vaden, kind of like Wilson, not willing to go down on the initial contact.
A great job of staying on his feet, using his cuts to move back and forth, stayed alive, and picks up a tough 6 yards to make it 2nd and 9.
Strength of the formation to the near side. Vaden will give it to the dive man, and just not a lot going there that time. Wilson forward for about 2. It'll be another big 3rd down opportunity here. This Indian defense has to be tired. They want to get off the field. The Webb City now just a little outside of the red zone, and they've ground the clock up for half of this quarter already. Here it is on 3rd down and 6. Indians crowd the line of scrimmage. Long snap count that time, and the Indian defense down and dirty. Won't let Wilson get away this time. No second effort, and it's 4th down.
Great job on the end of the line there by number 2, Zakai Johnson. We've called his name a couple of times, and he was waiting there for the ball carrier with open arms and making this a 4th down and 6. A good play by the Indians, especially that front 7.
Under 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Be curious to see if John Roderick's willing to try and send some motion here and get 5 yards the easy way. Nope. It's a quick throw. Vaden hits Jackson. Jackson dances around, but he may be short.
Depends on the spot.
I was thinking he stepped out, but instead he tight ropes the near sideline, and the Webb City drive is alive. 1st and 10 Cardinals.
Great pitch and catch there, and a good awareness by Vaden as he rolled to his right, found his man quickly, and allowed him to pick up the yards needed. And a great job by Jackson as well. Jackson put his head down, knew where their marker was.
Dupree Jackson was not denied. 8 men in the box for the Indians. Webb City will keep it on the ground. They'll plunge ahead to the 10-yard line. Pick up 3 yards on 1st down. The Indians starting to... The real estate, Bo, when you get this tight in the red zone, starts shrinking, and you can see they're not taking a lot away from the line of scrimmage. They're leaving 3 linebackers, 4 or 5 linemen, all stacked in right here. There's a lot of open real estate on the far side of the field. Cardinals can still get another 1st down option. Wilson, he tries to make one man miss, and there's that turf monster you talked about, partner. Wilson gets a little weebly and wobbly and goes down as he was closing in on the 5-yard line.
Yeah, at the 6-yard line, he had one man to beat, tried to put his leg in the ground to make a cut, and his foot slipped, and he went down. Otherwise, that could have been a touchdown on that run.
It'll be 3rd and 3. From Webb City stats that they turned into Misha, doesn't show that they've attempted a field goal this year. They're not going to need to. The dive at the goal line is good for a touchdown from 3 yards out. The Cardinals on third down deliver again.
Just straight ahead, and they kind of went quickly here from the 6-yard line. Give it to Jackson right up the middle, and he carries the defender into the end zone for a touchdown. And the lead is now, after the extra point is no good, is 13.
It's 20-7. Jackson collects his second rushing touchdown of this state championship, his 19th of the season. And partner, we've seen those missed extra points become problematic today. We saw that for Lamar earlier, forced them to go for a 2-point conversion that they did not get. And the game wasn't decided by much more than that.
That's right. 20-7 now in favor of Webb City. But Corey, how impressive is that? 7 minutes, 38 seconds on that drive.
Yep, that was a grinder, and the Cardinals pay it off. Dupree Jackson is able to deliver his second touchdown rush of the night. All three of the Cardinals' touchdowns have come from their dynamic duo of Cade Wilson and Dupree Jackson, the two running backs for Webb City.
And now if you're Holtz, you got to be thinking, we have to cash in on this drive.
Can't have another empty possession.
Doesn't have to be fast. There's still time, but you're right. It cannot be empty.
This kick angling toward the near sideline, taken at the 15. Jackson Smith trying to break away. He's finally wrestled down at the 35. A good return that time for Jackson Smith, who has shown you how elusive he can be on the kick and punt returns. Hasn't got quite that involved in the offense yet, as Merrill hasn't been able to hook up with him much, but he has hit 5 different receivers. Jackson Smith, the only one with more than one catch so far in this one. So Owen Merrill and the rest of the Indians offense will come back to work. A man in motion will balance the set. The run will be up the middle. It'll be a good gain on first down, as Webbling now trying to impose his will behind that big Holt offensive line.
Webbling had that 23-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, then went out for a little bit. Looked like he may have had a stinger in his shoulder, but good to see him back out there and churning up yards because they'll need him.
Yep, he had 7 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown in the first half. This time he's taken down, an ankle tackle by Webb City out on the edge. A good stop that time. He was brought down by Landon Johnson. He wears number 17.
Yeah, the junior did a good job of staying home. I thought Webbling there could have used the stiff arm to maybe fight off Johnson. Didn't work, and now it's third down.
See if they go to him one more time here. They fake the handoff. The quarterback Merrill escapes, has a man, and he'll have his first down. Near midfield, the ball is fumbled. Cardinals say they have it. Holy cow. The ball put on the turf by Alex Givner, the tight end who had a big catch in the first half. And Bo, he just got a little greedy. He got beyond the sticks. He had the yardage he needed. He spun into the defense and had the ball lost.
It looked like it was going to be a sack. Good job by Merrill there. But here's what you're talking about, Corey. Doesn't really put the ball away. It's ripped out, and it's all Cardinals near the ball.
The linebacker, Gavin Stoll, forcing the fumble, and Webb City will get the ball back on their side of the 50-yard line, trying to run downhill. Double tight the formation. Wilson works through a hole and bursts through the other side and is finally caught at the 30 as Wilson goes for 22 yards on first down.
And now you can see it, Corey. Webb City is flexing its muscle. Up front, running straight at him.
Jackson the lead blocker that time, and Wilson, man, he's just, I think you said slippery earlier, talking about Owen Merrill, the Holt quarterback. Wilson, just as hard to bring down on the first contact. Jackson looking for a third touchdown. He won't get to the end zone, but he will get close to 14 yards, and the chain gang has to hustle down the field as the Cardinals are in the red zone again.
And we're seeing a little bit of fatigue maybe on the Holt defense. They were out there for 7.5 minutes. The offense turns the ball over, and they're right back out there. And some of those guys, you have to believe, might be a little gassed.
Told you this Webb City team uncharacteristically with 3 losses on the year. This is how uncharacteristic it is. The last 4 seasons, Webb City's record is 53-4. Here's another run, testing the right side of the Indian defense. A little bit of ground to gain there. Webb City will have to settle for a pickup of about 3. Caden Moore on the stop that time.
Yeah, that Holt has to worry about, Corey, here is now we're under 2 minutes in the third quarter. There's still plenty of ball game left. You're still looking at 13.5 minutes.
Well, you thought it was bad in the first half when Webb doubled them up on time of possession. They've owned time of possession here in the third quarter, and Wilson wheels his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Webb City, they've done it again. And Wilson and Jackson sharing the workload, each with 2 touchdowns in the game.
And watch this run. Just off the right side. Great blocking on the edge. He hits the corner, knows where the pylon is, sticks the ball out, and is into the end zone for a touchdown.
27 rushing TDs, and now the Cardinals are going to go for 2 here after they hit the upright on their last point after attempt. Webb will bring a man in motion to the near side. Vaden wants to throw, pressure from behind. That one's going to be incomplete, so chasing that missed extra point will lead to another non-conversion here, but the Cardinals have jumped out now to a 19-point advantage over the Indians of Holt. They've got this one 26-7, and another long drive. The ball control that the ground game that Webb City has just can't be discounted. There's a minute 25, and the Cardinals have had the ball pretty much the entirety of the third.
And let's be honest, Corey, too. Not only have they possessed the ball, they've paid it off with touchdowns. Yes, they've missed the conversion, but they have 12 points. They're outscoring Holt. Really, they're outscoring Holt 12-0, 19-0 here since the first quarter. Let's not forget, Holt came right down and scored.
Yeah, they had the immediate answer. Webb City led. Webb City hasn't trailed in this game, but since then, as you point out, 19 unanswered points, and Washington puts the boot to that one and dots the eye of Tigers in the end zone and bounces it out the back for a touchback. I tell you what, when you get to this point in the season, special teams can't be discounted. There's 3 phases of the game, and having a kicker that can find the end zone to where you don't have to worry about a great return threat like Jackson Smith for Holt, that's a big deal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Holt this year 13-0, as we mentioned. Their closest game 27-21 or 27-20 on September 17th. Then they had a 3-point win against Chaminade, which you talked about 2 weeks ago, Corey. If they want to come back in this game, they're going to have to go up-tempo. They're going to have to score quickly.
Bobby Wilson on the stop for Webb City that time.
Holt also had a 4-point win at home against Troy Buchanan.
Webling gets 4 yards on the first down carry. This time he'll stay into block. Merrill rolling into pressure, throws on the run, and just has to throw it away as the Cardinal defense was coming crashing down on the quarterback for Holt.
You did a great job of describing that, and the mistake Merrill made there is he should have stopped. Webling was taking the defender there. If Merrill stops, he can find a receiver and throw it instead of just trying to outrun the defense.
He has plenty to pick from. The Indians have a lot of talent out on the edge. Here it is at third down now. Merrill, the quick hitter, almost intercepted. as the Cardinals. Dante Washington was trying to jump the route. It was number 11 there, Toothpicks. You see those 11s on the front and back. Young man wearing the Columbia blue pants and the red jersey, and Holt sending out the punt team after they have been held scoreless since quarter number 1.
And that's a disastrous 3 and out.
Sullivan on to try and punt this one away. Webb City with a couple of men deep back beyond the 50-yard line. Good snap, rugby-style punt. This will check up like a good sand wedge on the edge of the green and come to rest on the 40-yard line. Webb City now will get the ball here with the final 42 seconds to play in quarter number 3.
And we'll see what the Indian defense has here. The last time after the fumble and the recovery by the Cardinals, Webb City went big chunk plays on the ground to get that drive rolling. We'll see what Holt can do to come up with the stop.
They need a stop. They need a turnover. They need something because Webb City is running north-south. That time only for a yard, though, as Jackson Wilson couldn't bump off that initial wave. He and Jackson both leaning to the left side. Jackson trying to break free.
And Caden Moore with the stop.
Play clock at 25, game clock at 20. The Cardinals do not have to snap the ball here, and probably should not. They're able just to go over to their sideline and watch the final seconds tick off. The Webb City Cardinals are in search of their first ever state championship in Class 5 here at 2021 Show Me Bowl. They will have the ball in the fourth quarter when we come back. Cardinals 26, Indians 7 on Misha.tv. First play from scrimmage here in quarter number 4 will be for about 4 yards. As Webb City gives the carry to Dante Washington that time, and the clock starts. The final 12 minutes of regulation rolling here, Bo, and Webb City dominated the third quarter.
No doubt about it. The time of possession now, Webb City 25.5 to just 10.5 for Holt. It was total domination in the third quarter.
Cardinals need a big play on third down, and Vaden's going to get them all the way to the sticks. It's all about the spot here, and Vaden able to plunge forward and get Webb City another first down for them. Their 20th first down of the game against just 6 for Holt. That's how you know you're a running football team. That's how you know things are going your way.
After 3 quarters, the rushing yards 220 for the Cardinals.
Here's Washington out of the Wildcat, throwing deep downfield into double coverage, but that'll drift out of bounds. The intended target that time, number 16, Cole Vaden that time. So not surprising, but it might seem surprising if you don't know the history. Cole's been the quarterback all season. He missed a few games with injury, but for the last 2 years, he was the Cardinals' starting wide receiver. So if you're going to try a Philly special and flex your quarterback out, it's a pretty good deal when your quarterback's been a 2-year starting wideout.
No doubt about it. And even though they didn't connect on it, the Indians did a good job covering it. They show the pass, so now when they go back to the ground, you figure there's going to be a hole opening.
Counter to the near side now. Wilson weaves his way ahead for 5. He'll be stopped at the 45.
With over 150 yards rushing in the game through 3 quarters, Jackson has 68 yards rushing after 3 quarters.
But good use of his yards because both young men have 2 touchdowns. Webb City will make a couple of substitutions as we near the 10-minute mark to go here in quarter number 4. Class 3 and Class 1 championships on the docket tomorrow here at Faurot Field. The Holt crowd starts to spring back to life and make some noise. They will quickly be silenced by another Dupree Jackson drive and another Webb City first down.
Straight up the middle, just imposing their will. And that's what Webb City does best, and that's what they're doing here. Running the clock down, just trying to get that trophy in their hands.
That Webb City offensive line anchored on the center by Buddy Belcher, Angel Velasquez, and Nate Miller at the guards, Christian Kinney and Braden Jackson the tackles, the unsung heroes of this great ground game that Webb City has. Jackson keeps churning the legs, keeps pushing forward, and will have 7 yards.
And again, every time they run the ball, the clock keeps running. And head coach Ethan Placeover on the other side for Holt.
If he wants to stop it, he's got timeouts. That's about it right now.
That's right. Just with no answer right now. Imploring his defense to try to bow up and get him the ball back.
6 times this year, the Holt defense has held the opposition to 1 score or less. They are struggling right now to stop the Cardinals on the ground. Jackson again dances to the right and moves the chains. Another Cardinals first down. They just keep going. 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. And they keep inching toward the red zone. Ball set on the 26-yard line now, as Vaden and company will get ready to go back to work with another first down and 10.
Holt looking to the sideline. The players looking to the sidelines, trying to figure out a way that they could come up with a turnover or just a big play here to stem the tide.
They'll put about 7 in the box. Vaden fakes the handoff, dives forward for a gain of 2. And talking to John Roderick leading up to today's game about Cole Vaden. You know, he calls him his Swiss Army knife, wide receiver turned quarterback. But he just says he's such a smart kid, and that's what you have to be to run that triple option. There are so many different levels of the defense that you're reading to determine, am I keeping the ball? Is the ball going to the dive man? Am I pitching to the outside? Making those decisions is the difference in a 2-yard gain and a 12-yard gain. Vaden calls his own number again and gets sandwiched as Holt hammers him down after a 3-yard gain. That time, a couple of the guys in the defensive secondary knew exactly where Cole Vaden was, and they forced the 3rd down.
Ty Williams was there. And I'll tell you one thing. This Webb City team, in beating Jackson and breaking that long streak last week, 35-21, Jackson hadn't lost in a couple of years.
The last time they lost was to Carthage in the 2019 Class 5 championship game. Jackson was the defending Class 5 champs. We're going to have a new one now, and we're going to have a new set of downs as the Cardinals continue to dominate at the line of scrimmage. Another dive play, and Dupree Jackson delivers.
As we've gone under 7 minutes, it's been a phenomenal year for Holt. You know, even with still 6.5 minutes to go, we do have to talk about Holt and them getting here. This is I don't want to say uncharted territory for Holt, but at the same time, this is what you get when your first time here. You got to get that taste.
They've got a taste for it now. They may not like it when it's all said and done. Jackson dancing to his left, darts inside the 10-yard line, and he'll pick up 3. A great team out of a great conference, Bo. The Indians out of the GAC, the Gateway Athletic Conference. This is the first GAC team to play for a state championship in football since 2016, when Fort Zumwalt North last represented the GAC.
And you never want to see a team make it to the final without their full roster. And we've mentioned it, Cooper Brown out for this game. He toughed it out in the semifinal, played with a partially broken collarbone.
In the quarterfinal, totally broken in the semifinal.
And unable to play tonight. But give credit to Webb City.
Vaden to pass under pressure, throws, and he's intercepted. The Indians' defense with life. as that one is picked off. The Indians, number 80, David Caden Duke, a 6'1 junior, as Webb City was knocking on the door, picks off Cole Vaden.
And that's the strong safety again, Duke, coming up and making a play in the end zone. Let's take a look here. As a well, he undercut the route.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah,
that's
no
all
worries
that is.
there. He undercut the route.
It's the second time that Vaden's been intercepted in this Class 5 championship game. Merrill and the offense take over with 5:39 remaining. Quarterback keeper. He hits him up the middle. They'll be close to 9 yards before the Webb City defense finally corrals him. Brenton Wilson in on the stop. 48-49, both there. Lucas Ott, the defensive end. And this is going to be hurry-up time now for Holt. They've got all 3 timeouts. And second down and short. They end up crediting Merrill with 8 yards on the quarterback keeper. Out of the gun, rolling to his right. He's going to be sacked. Thrown down on the 2. The Cardinal defense get to him. Ott and Serber, 48-46, take Merrill down in the backfield.
What a rush, and that's been part of the problem for Merrill here lately, Corey, is he doesn't have the time to throw. He wants to roll to the right, then he almost puts the football away like he's going to be hit instead of ready to throw. Now it's third and very long.
End up being 3rd and 13, and when Merrill takes the shotgun snap, he's in his own end zone. They'll go ahead and give it to Webbling. This is the safe play, and Webbling may make it a big play. He bounces it outside, crosses the 20, and gets an Indian first down. That is that play, Bo, that as a fan you hate it. It's 3rd down and long. If you run it, I feel like you're giving up. But when you've got a 1,600-yard running back like Webbling, you can get it done, but there's a flag on the far side.
I think this might be after the play, Corey.
Well,
it seemed to me like Webbling got up.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense.
An uncharacteristic, unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Webb City Cardinals will double up the damage done by Webbling's big run out of his own end zone.
Webbling got up after the run and didn't like something. I don't know whether it was said or something in the tackle, but there was something after the play.
Webb City just rushes 3 this time, and before the play gets underway, another penalty flag is dropped. Another procedural penalty against Holt.
Holt doesn't have time for penalties.
No.
They can't go backwards. They must go forward.
They've got 4-16. They're down 19 points on the scoreboard. Merrill going to go for a big hitter here, but that one, too much oomph on it. As he clears the head and shoulders of his intended target and sends that one screaming out of bounds. It'll be second down and long.
I think he had the right idea there, just didn't put the right touch on the ball. There was no chance for anybody to catch that one. That one was so far out of bounds. There you go.
Webbling. He bounces off a defender and keeps going. Webbling rumbling and stumbling and finally gets tripped up at the 30. Another big chunk play, and the Indians are in business driving down the field. This offense that has been held scoreless since quarter number 1.
Webbling with a great job up the middle, bounces off and takes it on the big chunk play.
Merrill double clutches, delivers the ball, but the catch is out of bounds. And Bo, he did the same thing, did the Indians quarterback, that he did in the sack down here. It's like he's wanting to give a little pump fake and see if anybody bites and then make one more read. And he is really, really coming close to taking another loss, trying to see if any of the DBs release on the pump.
And the little indecision, should I run it or not?
Webling has no indecision. He's a north-south runner, and he buries his head into a couple of defenders.
Now, if you're Webb City, you don't mind that. That's it's a good
clock still
second down
moving.
play, but the clock is still moving as we approach 3.5.
Here they go on third down. Merrill to Smith in the near side. A good stiff arm. He tries to bounce it outside, but he's going to be about a yard short, I think. A good pitch and catch, but the clock continues to wind, and it's going to be a fourth down situation. Now the Cardinals were willing to roll the dice plenty on fourth down earlier. This will be the first time that Holt tries to make him pay. You got to think Webling will get the ball here. Instead, Merrill calls his own number, dives to the left, dances around one tackler, gets 3 or 4 yards before he's taken down by the Cardinal defense.
Good shimmy shake to make that first man miss. It could have been a tackle in the backfield, but Holt stays alive and the drive is still alive.
They need points and they need them in a hurry. Merrill to the back of the end zone, has a man, and it's caught. Touchdown, Indians. Owen Merrill delivers the touchdown pass to Jackson. Jackson Smith.
You got it. And Jackson Smith does a wonderful job of getting 1 foot down after catching that ball. Take a look here. Keep an eye on him. He's open, but he does get that toe down, and the official right on it. And the touchdown is good. Add the extra point, and all of a sudden, it's 26-14, and Holt has a little jolt.
McQuaid Eilenstein back in coverage that time for Webb City. You cannot say enough good things about the season Jackson Smith has had at wide receiver. John Roderick told us coming into this game, this is as good a wide receiver as we've seen all year. He came into today with over 100 receptions. Now he's over 1,200 yards receiving. And that was his 18th touchdown catch. Bo, 26-14. If your coach plays and the Indians, you're coming out and the onside kick is coming.
Has to be. You still have 3 timeouts. So even if you don't get it, you could call the timeouts with 2.5 to go.
You're down 2 scores. There is literally no time to waste.
You know that there's a day that they practice this. It might be a couple of times a week, but it's got to be in the arsenal as Webling tees it up and talks to his guys.
Well, and you've got something unique in this. Not always a ton of running backs as kickers. So you've got one of the fastest guys, and here's the fast kick. The Indians pounce on it. Webling caught Webb City sleeping. Quickly turned. They rushed the ball. He grounded it perfectly, got the high hop, and the Indians are back in business.
What a play. Watch it here. Webb City napping because Webling looks over and says, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go now.
And the ball goes 10 yards. It goes up in the air, and they hop on it. And it's Slaughter, I think, who comes up.
It was. It's Isaiah Slaughter who recovered the onside kick. But now a stop here. Oh, the kicking tee was still on the field. Somebody's got to collect that. The Webb City defense, no rest for the weary, right back out after surrendering their first points since quarter number 1. Merrill on the move, flags down, ball batted around. He was hit in the act of throwing. And we'll see what the penalty call is here after Webb City got pressure on the Indians quarterback.
This is a big call right here. The referee's talking about it. It came right around the line of scrimmage. They'll come together and talk about it with 2:23 to go.
Yeah, Jeff Holloway, Jeff Doherty, Jeremiah Payton, Reggie Fuller, Vince Hayes, the men in stripes for this one tonight, have done a good job keeping control of this Clash 5 clash between Webb City and Holt. Here's the call.
On defense.
So bonus yardage after the penalty for Webb City. Defensive holding the call. Penalties now just about evened up between these two teams.
And a big call, Corey.
34 yards away are the Indians. 2:23 on the clock. It'll be an empty set for Merrill. He throws on first down, has a man. Modest gain here on first down. Webb City does a good job to keep him in bounds and make the clock work in Webb City's favor.
When you don't get a first down, you're going to lose a good 20 seconds between plays as we roll under 2 minutes.
Merrill fakes the dive play to Webbling, looks across the middle, has a crossing route, the man has it. He'll be pushed out at the pylon, but he's in. He's able to tightrope the near sideline and get the 6. Holy cow, look at Holt. It's 31 again.
Slaughter.
Isaiah Slaughter, who has been a stalwart on defense all night, now paying dividends. And we're an extra point away from this being a 5-point game, still in Webb City's favor, as the kick is up, and it is good.
Wow.
Holy cow, Bo. It was 19 unanswered points for the Webb City Cardinals after we were tied 7-7 in the first quarter. And since then, it has been all Holt as they hit another home run here.
A great pass over the middle by Merrill. Slaughter catches it, stays inbounds, and finds the end zone. And don't forget, Corey, Webb City is going into the end zone to score again when that ball was picked off. That big turnover has turned things around, and now with 1:46 and still 3 timeouts, you know they're going to go for the onside kick. But they can play defense as well. If Webb City gets it, it's probably one first down for the title.
The 4th touchdown reception of the season for Slaughter, and it could not have come at a more important time. You're not going to catch the Cardinals napping on another quick kick here. So this time, Webbling and the Indians will go ahead and fan out and see what they do here. Webb City with the hands team in. They don't have a player beyond the 30-yard line. As Webbling will toe this one. An angling kick goes out of bounds. And the flag will come out here. So another kick out of bounds, like so many that you and I have seen over the course of the day, Bo.
Webbling with a good kick there was just too hard.
Yep.
It got the bounce he wanted. It's just his players had no chance to get there.
No, just too much toe on that one. And Webbling will back up the necessary 5 yards to the 35 and will go again. The front line of the Cardinals return team now set up on the good side of the 50-yard line. 106 seconds remaining in this Class 5 championship. Webb City clinging to a 5-point lead. Another chip shot. That one will go out of bounds as well. And Webbling is missing, but boy, he's not missing by much.
That one a little bit differently. That one goes out at the 28-yard line. And so it's almost like they decided to kick that one deep, but out of bounds to not run any clock. And so the ball is placed at the 40-yard line.
It's going to come out to the 40, pardon me.
Looks like the 35.
Nope. Back it up.
Put it at the 40. But here you go. First down.
Now both teams have to move. The chain gang has to move because that wasn't communicated very well. So everybody moves now, and you're right. 1 first down, but both teams with all 3 timeouts. And boy, the defense of Holt riding the wave of the offense denies Jackson anything on first down. Immediately calls timeout. Boy, momentum is a funny thing, Bo Bayman, and it has swung and swung hard in the way of the kids from Wentzville.
No doubt about it. And give them credit for not giving up Webb City's up 26-7, going in for a touchdown that could potentially put them up 33-7. There's a pick in the end zone. They take it down the field. They get an onside kick, and they're ready to go again.
And that has been Webb City's problem all year. You do not see very many teams that get to this point in the postseason that are dead even in the giveaway takeaway ratio. Coming into tonight's game, Webb City's defense had forced 19 takeaways. Their offense had given the ball away 19 times via fumble or interception. Normally that number is 3-1, 4-1
right
to the good. This is a Webb City team that when they lost to Carthage, turned the ball over 6 times. The defense of Holt standing tall again, only a gain of 1 that time.
I'll tell you what, Corey, Holt gets a stop here on 3rd and 9 and gets the ball back after we have the second timeout. Webb City, no doubt, is on its heels. If this is a prize fight, they're wobbling, even with the lead.
97 seconds to play in regulation. And that lead just 5. Webb City missed an extra point, then chased it with a 2-point conversion on the following attempt after their touchdown. Now, it's 3rd down and 9. We have seen big play after big play after big play out of this offense.
The first 2 downs have run 9 seconds off the clock.
Caden Turner flexes out to the far side of the field. Vaden under center once more on 3rd and long. He'll give it to Jackson, who will get a positive gain, but not enough. He'll be 5 yards short of the down and distance marker, and it's 4th down.
And Holt calls timeout, using its final timeout with 1:32 to go. It's 4th and 5. And if you're Webb City, you have to punt.
I agree with you. Conventional wisdom says that you absolutely have to punt. But I've also got a bevy of running backs who average 7.7 yards a carry, 8 yards a carry, 6.3 yards a carry, and all I need is 5. The law of averages says that you think you might get one. When's the last time Holt bottled up this offense for 4 straight plays? Don't know that it's happened the entire night, but most people, I think, would go ahead and kick this one away and let your defense try and bring home your 16th state title. That's what John Roderick will do. Nobody is back deep. Now Holt's going to try and hustle and get a man back deep for the punt. Cooper Crouch. A good punt will bounce at the 20, roll toward the 15, and the Cardinals on special teams trying to will it a couple of yards closer to the end zone. And it will be 1:20 to play, no timeouts, and Holt's ball on the 13-yard line.
And that was a little bit of a mistake by Jackson Smith, the return man back there. You have to go and fair catch that to preserve more time. That ball rolled around for a good 5-6 seconds.
It did. So Owen Merrill and the Indians have all of the momentum, but time is not on their side. They also don't have a timeout on their side. 4 receivers in the formation to the near side. Merrill guns it complete to the 25-yard line. Jackson Smith again, no surprise. He is going to be the man that's going to help them move it. Clock continues to wind now. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. First down, Indians. Merrill with Webbling as a sidecar. Spins the ball in his right hand. Guns it down the far sideline. He's got a man, and he's got another big gainer. 1st and 10. Do it again as he hits Isaiah again. This time it's Slaughter down the far side. His second catch of the game. Holt's got the ball on the good side of the 50 and 60 seconds to go.
Still plenty of time now in positive territory, Corey.
Cardinals have not had a way to stop this Holt offense here in the fourth quarter. Merrill on the move. That's a big play. He gets stranded in the middle of the field and will try to hurry up, waiting for his receivers to come back and get into position.
Christian Kinney with the stop there.
Webb City just rushing 3, dropping everybody else back. They've got a linebacker spying Merrill, who'll try to hit a man short. That ball is incomplete, out of bounds. The clock stops now, Bo, with 35 seconds.
And
man.
Down and 7. How about Merrill? What a comeback he's led.
Just an incredible performance by a young man who was, a couple of weeks ago, mostly just playing defense for this Indians team. Instead, he has to come in the biggest nights of the year and take over for the program's best quarterback ever, Cooper Brown. Third down. Flag. Flag coming before the snap. And boy, if I had a nickel for every one of those mistakes that's been made tonight, I'd have me a handful of nickels right now. Another procedure penalty against Holt will back them up 5 yards. They set the clock back to 35 seconds.
Reminder, it is third down.
Third down, 4 wide receivers. Merrill looking left. He gets out of the grasp of a Webb City defender, throws on the run and hits. He hits again for another Indians first down. That time he's able to connect with Ty Williams, the junior. The clock continues to wind now, closing in on 20 seconds. A fresh set of downs. Merrill fakes it, and he's going to get hit. He's sacked. Sacked just to the left of the SEC logo. The Cardinals get to him. Clock continues to wind now with 5, with 4, with 3, with 2, with 1. One last gap for the Indians. They'll throw it to the end zone, and the Cardinals take it away. The Cardinals win their first ever Class 5 championship. It's Sweet 16 for Webb City. The final score, Webb City victorious 26-21, ending the perfect season of the Holt Indians. Holt will finish the year with a record of 13-1. Webb City goes to 11-3, and Bo Bayman, the end of that game gave us everything. It dang near gave me a heart attack.
What a finish. What a finish. Second night in a row that the game has ended on an interception at the 1 yard line. What a comeback by Holt. A valiant effort by the Indians. Just one play away, but the sack was the huge play of this game. Here's the final one.
Took all the clock away as Merrill unloads and still trying to see who had it. It's Dupree Jackson. 2 touchdowns on the ground and a game-saving interception for the starting running back for the Webb City Cardinals. Congratulations to John Roderick, state championship number 13. He came into tonight with 12 of Webb City's championships, 10 perfect seasons. This one wasn't a perfect start, but it was a perfect finish for the underdog Cardinals to come into Columbia and claim their first ever championship in the Class 5 Show Me Bowl. Congratulations, Bo, go out to head coach Ethan Place and Holt. We've talked about it at length tonight without their starting quarterback, but man, Owen Merrill was a monster leading them back in the second half of this game.
He finishes 13 of 23 with 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, 173 yards. He was sacked twice, and we mentioned it, the sack by Braxton Serber was just a huge play because they didn't have a timeout. That's the one play, the one thing you really can't have happen is to get sacked, and it happened. They still got the playoff, had one final chance, but the interception seals the deal for Webb City.
Kyle Webling for Holt goes 12 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown on the night for the tremendous running back for the Indians. He is a senior. His high school football career is done. I will point out for you football fans, Owen Merrill, he's just a junior. He's going to be back next year, the new Indians quarterback. Both these teams through the handshake line now, showing their appreciation to one another. The crowd from Wentzville proud to see their Indians play in their first ever Show Me Bowl. This is a team that's going to have a lot of drive to come back here again next season. Meanwhile, Webb City, what's one more in the trophy case? The 16th state title in the school history is the most of any football program in the history of the state of Missouri, regardless of class. They are now alone atop the mountain with those 16 state titles. Valley Catholic in second place with 15 for the Warriors. The folks from Misha getting both teams lined out for the trophy presentations. Coaches and cheerleaders alongside to try and help with that. And the celebration on both sidelines will be a big one. We get ready to turn things over to PA announcer Sean Corum.
We direct your attention to the field for the awards presentations of this Class 5 championship game. First for our runner-up team, the Indians of Holt High School. Finishing the year with a record of 13-1. Presenting awards on behalf of the Misha Board of Directors is Corey Johnson. Head coach Ethan Place is also being presented the official Wilson Game Ball and individual player medals. How about a nice round of applause for the 2021 Class 5 runner-up for Holt Indians. Now for our championship team, the Cardinals of Webb City High School, who finished the year with a record of 11-3. Presenting awards on behalf of the Misha Board of Directors is Travis Whittemore. Head coach John Rodriguez is also being presented the official Wilson Game Ball and individual player medals. Let's hear a nice round of applause for the 2021 Class 5 champions from Webb City High School.
When this team was counted out earlier this year, and I will include myself in that, when they had to run into Carthage in the postseason, I said, well, they're probably done. And they beat them. And then they turn around, and what do they have to do next? They see a Carthage team that beat them early in the season, and then they've got to run into Lebanon that's got practically a pro-level offensive line, 300-pounders from tackle to tackle. They beat Lebanon 35-13, and then they turn around and a team that hasn't lost in 2 years, the defending state champions, Jackson, have to come to Cardinal Stadium. They beat them 35-21. Everybody outside of John Roderick's inner circle and those players may have counted them out, but they didn't count themselves out, and they are the kings of Class 5 here in the Show Me State.
And even though they've won 16 as a program, you tell me that those kids, this doesn't matter to those kids. You could tell when they're grabbing the trophy. They have the trophy, everybody kissing on the trophy.
Oh, yeah.
That is a huge accomplishment. And when people count you out and you have 3 losses on the season, to fight your way through and hold on here in this game, Corey, because let's be honest, another minute on the clock and it could be a different outcome.
Another timeout for Coach Place. Again, congratulations to the Holt Indians on an incredible 13-1 run through Class 5 in the state of Missouri. But that is going to do it for us. We've got 2 more games tomorrow. Don't forget to come back and join us for the Class 3 and Class 1 games. But it is state title number 16 for the kids from Jasper County as Webb City wins it again, 26 30-21 over Holt. For Grant and Asia and Jasmine, our crew, for my broadcast partner, Bo Bayman, and all the fine folks here at Misha, I'm Corey Riggs saying good night and so long from Columbia. Webb City wins Show Me Bowl 2021.